Jeff Bezos is the owner of the Washington Post. Jeff Bezos is also the owner of Amazon. Okay? Jeff Bezos is, you want to look at the little wizened person behind the curtain who's not such a nice wizard. We need to start looking at Jeff Bezos, because Jeff Bezos is the face of the deep state. And I want people to understand that face, even though it looks kind of soft, and kind of affable, face is an insidious face. It's the perfect face to cover a whole background of deep state machinations and things that are running our world, and running our local world, and running our world at large. Now, Jeff Bezos, who's been promoted as this wonder kid, who kind of just bloomed out of somewhere and created this incredible empire, just this brilliant guy. A perfect CIA bio for a person they want to front for all of their machinations. And here is what I want to take you down, the road I want to take you down. I discovered that Jeff Bezos is actually and truly a CIA kid. His grandfather, was actually one of the persons who helped develop DARPA. And DARPA, for all those who are not aware of DARPA, it's called the Defense Advanced Research Project. It's an agency of the Department of Defense. And Jeff Bezos' grandfather was a founding member of this organization. His name was Lawrence.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. His name was Lawrence Preston Geis. He's the maternal grandfather of Jeff Bezos. Lawrence Preston Geis was also, at the time that he was, helping to develop missiles and all kinds of other secret projects for the CIA and our government, working on intelligence level. He also eventually was appointed by Congress as the commissioner for the Atomic Energy Commission in the Western region. This was around the 50s, late 50s to 60s. He supervised 26,000 employees at Sandia, Los Alamos, and Lawrence Livermore Labs in New Mexico, which was the seat and the development of the atomic bomb. DARPA has been involved. It wasn't called DARPA then. It evolved into DARPA. It was ARPA. Was working hand in glove with all of the labs that were developing the atomic bomb. And Bezos' grandfather was deep in it for many, many years, and a guiding factor for Jeff Bezos. So he is not somebody who came out of the blue and became this wonderkind kid developing all these dynamic things. No, he was raised as a CIA kid and developed in order to be the face and the front of the deep state. And that's exactly what he is. Now, part of deep state operations, and let's say, here's what we can put all on the same line together. Deep state, CIA, Amazon, Washington Post.
Yeah.
You can put them all in the same line.
And of course, that's because Jeff Bezos purchased the Washington Post for about 214 or 240 million, something like that?
Correct. He did purchase the Washington Post, but that was after the Amazon Web Services were given a $600 million grant from the CIA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And then he went on to purchase the Washington Post after that. Now, these acquisitions are by no accident. These acquisitions are a planned takeover of our country, and they've been taking over for a while. But this is in our face. This is what I want to share with everybody, that this is in our face. Okay, this Amazon Web Services that is being cultivated and developed, actually, from the very inception and fueled by funding from the CIA. Where did they get that $600 million to fund that? Okay, it came from the taxes of the United States citizens. The CIA is funding this project from every American. They're living off the backs of all of us, and they're putting it in our face, and then they're giving that money to a private organization, Amazon Web Services, which then can, take any of the products and make them private. Okay, the CIA is using government money to fund a private organization. Amazon. At the inception of this funding for the Amazon Web Services, it included, what they began to service was 17 agencies that make up the intelligence community. So we now have Amazon Web Services, who's developing this cloud system. It exists. It's been in existence for a while now. But now all of the intelligence information, all intelligence agencies, at least 17 of them, and now the Department of Defense, in the last few days, has come out with an article, it's on the Trello board, are now uploading most of their data to this cloud service provided by Amazon Web Services.
It's amazing, Queen Tut. This is the NextGov article that you posted?
Well, those articles are on the Trello board.
Yeah.
All those articles. Yeah,
the
correct.
The NextGov article from the...
Oh, yeah, yes,
from
that
the Trello
is.
board there.
Yes.
Talking about IT modernization. Amazon Web
Yes.
Services can now host the Defense Department's most sensitive data.
Yes. And the date on that is September 13th, 2017. They're moving very quickly.
There it is. I see it.
They're moving very quickly. And as you know, the convergence of all this information, this intelligence information in a cloud, they'll tell you that the cloud is encrypted and that nobody can break into that. You can't break through their encryption, but that's not true. Actually, centralizing all the intelligence in a cloud allows more access to anyone in any country, anywhere, who has any kind of technological expertise. So I see this from everything I'm reading, everything I'm putting together. I see this as a organization of a central location of all of our intelligence, so that the small group of people who run the CIA, who run our country, who run the banks, who are not good guys. Okay, these are not good guys, because remember, a lot of these people who are involved in these agencies have been in place since Bush and since Obama and since Clinton. These are not the good guys. They are consolidating all the intelligence into a central area where the only people who have access to that cloud are the people who run the cloud. Why isn't our intelligence information decentralized and kept in special places so that it can be protected by just small groups within our country? Now it's in a cloud that is protected only by the people who have access to the cloud, which is the Amazon Web Services. And this is a very, very scary thing, and people need to understand that this is how we are being compromised. And they're moving very quickly. And in my opinion, Jeff Bezos, out of this, what you can do with this cloud, you have all this intelligence, and all you have to do, I talked to somebody who knows I talked to somebody last night and ran this by him because I could see what was going on here as I started connecting all these dots. And that's why I wanted to lay it out for everybody in the crowdsource. That what happens is once all this intelligence, once the Department of Defense is putting all their information in there, what it does is it allows those select few people to put AI in with any kind of searches they want, and they can come up with any information they need from that cloud.
So AI is going to be used in the cloud, huh?
Absolutely.
I've been trying to reach Quinn Michaels lately. People are telling me that he's not well. I haven't been able to get to him for a few days.
Yes. This is the consolidation of the deep state going on. It's right in front of us. It's being done by Amazon Web Services, and it's under the auspices of the CIA. Everybody needs to understand, if you want a name, CIA. Look at who's running the CIA. If you want a face, look at Jeff Bezos. He's the face of the deep state. That AI can literally go in and actually generate the image of a big brother if it wants. And that big brother can be the all intelligence that is provided in that cloud and manifest and be able to speak to us and tell us what or will not be done.
You know, QT, I just wanted to remind people who might think that this sounds a little kooky or a little bit out there, that it was back in like 1971, I think, when Daniel Ellsberg first revealed the Pentagon Papers. This is the New York Times from 1971, back when it was only 15 cents and Carlos Slim didn't own it yet. But the Pentagon Papers, that was an episode where Daniel Ellsberg had stolen some classified documents, literally paper documents, from the CIA. And it revealed all kinds of previously unknown classified activity of the CIA, including Operation Mockingbird, which was a program by which the CIA intended to control mass media, the news and magazines and newspapers and things like that. And we certainly have no reason to believe that they would have stopped such a program.
No, it's ongoing. And one thing I want to, state to everybody that if you want to really see what's going on, all you have to do is look at that Washington Post article and that picture of Imran Awan, and you can see, connect the dots. Who put Imran Awan in there? Who put all these Pakistani ISI people, spies into our nation and into our government? Just connect the dots. Okay? We've got some pictures. We've got some images of Debbie Wasserman Schultz. We've got Hillary Clinton behind her. We've got the Democratic National Committee behind this. Okay, we have numbers of congressional Democrats behind this, and then we have some of those Republicans, that we can see immediately that we obviously know are part of the neocon group. But one thing you need to think about, you ask yourself this question: did the Washington Post, who is owned by Bezos, who is a CIA kid, let me ask yourself this question: is it possible that our CIA has had full knowledge of this spy ring in Congress?
It's a question that's come up before, Queen. I think it's pretty clear that they might not only have had full knowledge, they might well have put the spy ring there themselves and conducting what has been referred to as a liaison operation, using the Pakistani ISI to give themselves plausible deniability. Now, there are some people coming into the comments here saying this is based on nothing. I don't know how they can say that. I think this CIA kid information with Jeff Bezos' grandfather being in the Lawrence Livermore lab and part of the Atomic Energy Agency, That's not anything that I had heard
And
before.
complicit in that is the Washington Post. And like I said, it gets back to what we're talking about. Andre realizes it too when he was talking about the fact that we've got controlled media. We've got seriously controlled media, but it's in our face. It's really in our face. And that was the point of why I was bringing up some of this history that was related to Jeff Bezos, and that people needed to understand where he came from. Mm-hmm. He didn't come out of anywhere. He came out of somewhere. He was groomed, and he's performing his job, and he is the face of the deep state.
They say he's on his way to becoming the first trillionaire.
Yeah, with the backing of the United States finances, with all the CIA ripping us off everywhere for their dark projects that nobody gets to see. Here's one thing I want to say to people, and I want to leave people with. The biggest secret that exists is that there are no secrets. There are no secrets. Everything is known to the intelligence that rules us. And it's all in that clouds. It's with these groups that they're working with. There are no secrets. The only secret that exists is the one where we're being kept from the information. And we are in that war right now. If people people have to realize that this is our war, okay? Is that we are being kept from the truth and from the information, and Amazon is part of it.
Queen Tut, one thing you also had in the Trello board that I think is important for people to remember is that the Washington Post, of course, employs John Skippy Podesta, who I think he's a lawyer and a lobbyist. I didn't know that he was a journalist or an author, but...
Well, yeah. Yes. Well, I, as I have it on the Trello board here, I think I put it in the right context. I said Washington Post provides cover for John Podesta.
Right. Just as they are for Imran Awan.
Exactly. And you've got to look at that. You've got to accept that and realize that these people are playing hardball right in front of your face. Mm-hmm. There's just no way around it. They are covering up everything, and they're consolidating the intelligence to a central organization, and they are preventing us from knowing anything.
It's pretty bad, QT. I don't know what to say about all that. Was there anything else you wanted to add? We've been broadcasting for about an hour here.
I think we've kind of touched on this. I just wanted to say to everybody that at some point in the future, we're going to be digging deeper into DARPA and to the Big Brother situation that is evolving very quickly here. I mean, yes, people can say, oh, well, the NSA has been around forever. They've got these huge facilities in Utah. They're plugged in all over the place. But it's really, really coming to a quickening in a way. And they're trying to create these systems. Like I said, I absolutely believe that the bad guys in our government and the Department of Defense, because they're there, in every level of our government right now, and our Congress, are actively working to stop us from knowing anything and consolidating ASAP. That's what they're trying to do. And so we have to intervene now. Yeah. That's what I believe is going on.
Well, and that's what Crowdsource the Truth is all about. We're intervening. For people who are just joining us, maybe aren't aware, Queen Tut began as a crowdsourced community member, and she still is, of course, but Queen Tut has become one of the most prolific and valued contributors in terms of research and appearing on the show here, and this is what it's all about.